Can you get a heart murmur from a lack of sleep? Because I have not slept since we've got here, and I think my body is shutting down.
Well, I hate to admit it, but I actually know very little about heart murmurs.
Well, I have one. The pulse is very irregular.
Honestly, David, I have tried to find my pulse like 1,000 times and nothing.
No,
So don't
this
worry
is very
about it.
serious. My heart has not rested in a long time. My immune system is very low. I have not been able to find Kale anywhere here.
How long are we going to be talking about you for?
I think I'm having a heart attack is what's
David?
happening.
You are like 34.
I'm basically 29.
Oh my God, you are overreacting?
I think you're going to feel very guilty when I slip into a coma and you have to come visit me in the hospital at hospice.
Well, I'm going to go for a jog, so don't die until I get back. Okay?
Well, how long are you going for?
I don't really know. How long are you going to be like this for?
Don't be a little bee.
Bye.
When I'm in this state.
Well, hi. Let's try this again. Hi, thanks for letting me know that I was muted, Jay. Hello to Lala, Jamie, Jay, Jaden. Hi, Reentology. How are you? I wanted to talk. I was going to do something today. Let me testing my lighting. Hi, Donna. I mean, thank you, Jamie. That's how I respond to compliments. I'm the worst compliment taker in the world. But yeah, you know, I figured we might as well spread it all around, right? Let's just, you know, be sister mods everywhere, and then we can be bad actors or whatever. Anyway, so I have a video planned regarding a new bill that's being presented through the Senate Finance Committee, or I should say the House Finance Committee, regarding the troubled teen industry. But I put that off. It's going to be a recorded video because I want to stay on track, and I love interacting and having the live chat, but certain issues, videos, topics, I really feel like need to be you know, not interrupted by my lack of organization or my distractedness or anything else that people. Oh, that's all right, Rain. I appreciate you coming. So today I want to talk about trust and trust issues. I would love to say that, you know, all trust issues are caused by trauma and PTSD and bad childhoods, and that's true. Actually, I know a lot of my trust issues have come from that. However, there's another reason for trust issues, and that is by trusting the wrong people and allowing them to be your friend when you don't even know them. And then they end up not just stabbing you in the back, but like right in the heart while they're looking in your eyes. And that's become a problem for me. It's definitely become a problem for me since I started my journey on the streaming world, in the streaming world. Well, I mean, I only do TikTok, but barely. I only do TikTok and YouTube. I don't mess with Rumble. That's I know it's more free speechy, but it's free speechy in a way, and in a way that I don't necessarily agree with. So I probably get kind of skewered on Rumble. Besides the fact that I don't really feel like I'm talking about anything that's, too controversial, unless I bring up Phil McGraw, which, by the way, I have decided that I will no longer be calling him with using the DR ahead of his name. We're just going to call him Phil, Uncle Phil McGraw, whatever. Because, yeah, I didn't watch his interview with DT, but I can't imagine that I would be able to stomach that too much. So, in regards to trauma-induced, that one guy. Whew. So I found a really short video discussing complex PTSD effects on the brain long term and whether or not it can affect your closest relationships. Texas guy with the mustache versus the New York guy with the extreme swirly comb over. So I just wanted to share this video really quick because it kind of struck me. And then I'm going to talk about this, which I'm sure will be very exciting. It's not going to be a long stream, just so we're aware, so everybody's aware. It's not a long stream today, but I wanted to play this video regarding PTSD and relationships. I found it personally helpful.
You've probably heard of PTSD, but have you ever heard of complex PTSD? That's when traumatic events, often from childhood, affect your brain long term and can affect your closest relationships. So tonight, we speak to a health advocate about how to identify this kind of trauma and do something about it.
There's often a lot of shame and stigma associated with trauma, but the paradox is there's a lot of healing and storytelling and sharing and opening up.
Sarah Church is an author and health advocate who's experienced what's called complex PTSD. That condition happens due to childhood trauma that's never resolved, and it impacts the brain long term.
Symptoms often include flashbacks, nightmares, and triggers to cues that remind you of the traumatic experience from the past.
That past unresolved trauma can cause a lifetime of damage to your health and well-being.
One can be difficulty dealing with emotions. A second thing could be like a diminished sense of worth, excessive shame and guilt. And the third common thing is a difficulty sustaining relationships or really feeling connected to others.
And complex PTSD is more common than you might think. According to the CDC, 61% of U.S. adults have experienced at least one traumatic event in their life. And children who grow up in an abusive home and don't seek help as adults may see that unresolved trauma come out in other ways, like with substance abuse, overeating, overworking, anxiety, difficulty sleeping, and physical pain. Then experts say many will unintentionally pass along their trauma to others. Church did that too and says she lost her marriage over it. But now she leans on a combination of tools to help her stay healthy.
So I have a toolbox now that I can A, recognize what's happening, which is a big improvement from not even knowing or recognizing. And then B, I generally know which tool to pull out of the toolbox.
Meanwhile, Church says healing from complex PTSD can be helped by talking to a licensed mental health therapist who specializes in trauma and seeking other treatments for trauma, including memory reprocessing like EMDR and accelerated resolution therapy, ART, neurofeedback, and wellness practices like writing and meditation. Church is also the author of a new book, Mending My Mind. We've included a link to that and more information on our website. Head over to ABC Action News.
Okay, I just saw this great comment about the Body Keeps Score. That book, if you have not read it, is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And thank you for bringing that up. So this is the Body Keeps Score. This is the Body Keeps Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. So trauma is a fact of life. Veterans and their families deal with the painful aftermath. The painful aftermath of combat. 1 in 5 Americans has been molested. 1 in 4 grew up with alcoholics. 1 in 3 have engaged in physical violence. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, one of the world's foremost experts on trauma, has spent over 3 decades working with survivors. In The Body Keeps the Score, he uses recent scientific advances to show how trauma literally reshapes both body and brain, compromising sufferers' capacity for pleasure, engagement, self-control, and trust. He explores innovative treatments from neurofeedback and meditation to sports, drama, and yoga. They offer new paths to recovery by activating the brain's natural neuroplasticity, based on Dr. van der Kolk's own research and that of other leading specialists. The Body Keeps the Score exposes the tremendous power of our relationship, both to hurt and to heal, and offers new hope for reclaiming life. I personally highly recommend that book because I have read it myself, and it's very on point. Trauma induced trust issues is something that I think that more people are dealing with, living with, not acknowledging, part of their lives. And for me personally, I know that it has caused me never to have had a long-term, fulfilling, mutually loving relationship. I foregone kids. That's not the right way to say it. I chose not to have children. I chose not to have children for multiple reasons. I apologize. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous because I'm waiting to see if anyone that happens to be one of the reasons why I'm feeling as if I have trust issues right now actually shows up in my stream. And also, I want to give anybody the opportunity that's in my stream to come up on the panel. I can put a link. I don't mind at all. Anybody wants to talk to me, wants to talk about trauma, wants to talk about trust, wants to talk about yes. Yeah. Oh, Sammy, you also here. It is such a great book. I suffer with PTSD and CPSD. It is so difficult. It is incredibly difficult. I really, my birthday is on Thursday. I'm turning 54 years old and I have absolutely no idea how I got here. As far as like, how did I manage all of this time to stay alive? And a lot of times I still really don't understand why people allow me to live alone and, have pets and, drive a car and do all the things that I do. I don't know. Yes. Lala also deals with trauma-based CPTSD. And I want to say something about PTSD and complex PTSD. There is nothing bad or stigmatizing about living with PTSD or CPTSD. The same as there's nothing wrong with living with being on the spectrum of autism anywhere, from mild ADD, my apologies, ADHD for the kids out there. There's nothing wrong with being authentically you, unless being authentically you is to scam people all the time, to grift people, to rip them off, to lie to them, to hurt them physically, to end people's success or life or anything, trying to destroy people. That you're not a good person. But if you have trauma and you're working on yourself and your trauma so that you can get control of your life again, so that you can get as much good in your life, maybe not for someone like me who's 54. I'm not going to get as many good years as I had bad, and let's just be real, but I'm going to get as much good in my life as I can possibly, bring into my life, because I've lived trauma. I've had bad done to me. I've hurt other people. I have done things most of the time not even on purpose. But you know what? Even when I was young, I did purposely hurt people, because I was an angry person, and I didn't know who to focus my anger on, and I took it out on other people. I'm doing this video on Father's Day, and as everybody knows, I have a great relationship with my dad, but I don't right now, not this week. I'm struggling right now, and it's affecting my dad and my whole family, really, or anyone who knows it, which isn't that many people except strangers. I'm struggling. And part of what I'm struggling about is an online community that I got involved in. And I'm not sorry that I got involved in the community. What I'm sorry for is the people that I trusted. And that's a weird word for me, trusted, because you don't necessarily know people, but I trusted people with my private stories, my life, not my information necessarily, but I trusted people to be involved in my life and know stories about me and what I've been through, and I've been burned actually since I started this. I've been on YouTube, I've been on YouTube since YouTube started, but this channel in particular, I only started this channel in December, and I have been burned by people in 2 different communities. Now, granted, the communities they're intersecting communities, but I have been hurt by people from the Scientology, the anti-Scientology movement. Now, I haven't been hurt by streamers maybe one streamer in the anti-Scientology movement, but it's people that are part of the community, as far as in live chat. And listen, I didn't for years, I didn't even know what live chat was. I knew it was there. I'm not stupid. I know what live chat is, but I didn't have anything to do with it. Aaron Smith Levin, I followed him for several years, and he had live chat, but I never really went into the live chat. I didn't even go in people's live chat during the COVID lockdown. Now on Discord and Twitch and those kind of things, TikTok, I did that, but not in the anti-Scientology connection, recovery. I'm trying to think of the community. Just the community between the SBTV community and the Lifeboat community, which again, like I said, are connected. I've been profoundly hurt by people, profoundly hurt. And most recently, been hurt by a group of people who claim to be my friends, but now just want to somehow, without my being able to see it or some of my other friends being able to see it, just feel the need to bash us as human beings because we moderate on somebody's YouTube channel. First of all, moderating on somebody's YouTube channel is not like being the inspector general, or being the attorney general of the United States, or the speaker of the House of the United States. Like, it's, yes, there are some people in the SPTV ecosystem that are not there for the right reasons, and a lot of them are judgmental, Donna. Some more than others. I mean, geez, there's a whole there's several Reddit subreddits, whatever, just talking about the streamers and the people in chat and people's streamers choices for moderators. Again, I'm not taking a test, and I'm not gonna go through a background check in order to moderate somebody's live streams on their channel, unless those streamers also agree to a background check. You know who you are. Don't be a hypocrite. That's all I have to say on that. Yes, mod bashing or mod wars. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's distracting. It's clickbaity, and I personally, since I'm not better than anybody else, but I am on a mission. And the reason that I am on a mission is because I'm a survivor of trauma, of institutional child abuse, of cult-like behavior. If you look at the troubled teen industry, you will find that many professionals and people in the mental health industry have been looking into the troubled teen industry outside of the ones who are obviously attached to churches or cults like Scientology with the Delphian academies. Call them Delphian now. They used to be called Delphi. Again, it all goes back to, I don't like to sound redundant, but I'm going to. It all goes back to Synanon, and their school, they sent all their kids away, and that's what the parents do in Scientology. Mainly, the Sea Org takes children and has them sign a $1 billion contract. They make them do all kinds of horrific things. The mildest, as far as I'm concerned, is auditing adults. Which, anything about auditing, you're just really kind of doing a lie detector test while they hold on to 2 metal cans. Yeah, no, by the way, yes, there will be no background checks here for moderators. Not that I personally, I don't care. I have an arrest on my record from 2016. Actually, it was April 17th, 2016. I was arrested in Daytona Beach, Florida for trespassing. And why was I trespassing? Because I was living in a shelter at the time, as I had only 3.5 months prior escaped my abusive ex. And I was staying at a shelter. I was talking with a friend of mine who was in a different part of the shelter, and we were outside smoking a cigarette Sunday, 8 o'clock in the morning. The business across the street happened to be a private investigator. So on my part, that was really stupid because, wannabe cops are always going to try to start trouble. And I got arrested, and I spent 36 hours in Volusia County Jail for trespassing. So if you want to look me up, that's what you're going to find. So, no, no. And that's the thing. So Sammy says, I have bad trust issues of making 2 friends that are girls. because of being burned or dealing with jealousy or bullying. I really appreciate y'all holding space for me, even though I'm new. Yeah, you know what? We're all new. It's June. I've been doing this very spottily. Spottily? I've been doing this very inconsistently since the beginning of the year. So, you know, and I know it's hard. And the reason I know it's hard is because I have more than once trusted the wrong people. I've got burned by some people that were, you know, a part of another community. I got burned by some people in the SPTV community. Nobody of note. I'm not going to be dropping names. I'm not going to be bashing people online, even though I deleted afterwards because people do record things and that stuff lasts forever. Just so you're aware. I was kind of hoping that one of our detractors or haters or whatever you want to call them would actually have the nerve to show up and come on camera and talk to me, because I'm sick of it. But since I'm doing this live stream instead, I'm just going to get it all out, put it behind me, and I ain't talking about it again. I don't even care if somebody puts something on Reddit. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just, see, right here. This is the first community where I've been burned by people I've liked. Yeah. So sometimes being a good person and doing things to help others doesn't always pay off. However, it's not going to stop us from continuing to do so. You know, people want to say that we are, you know, the plastics and, you know, I mean, I don't know. Would I be the Regina George? I'm just going to say, yeah. But we can wear pink any day you want to. It doesn't have to be Wednesday. You can wear hoop earrings if you want to. I don't care. I'm not mean. My friends are not mean. We don't sit around and talk bad. Izzy! This, everybody, if you don't remember, is my internet daughter. One of the blessings that has come to me from these communities that are all interconnected. How are you today, love? It's really good to see you, Izzy. Izzy is an amazing belly dancer and a very kind, loving, and open person. She's also an amazing mother. And I just adore her. We got here, Donna. Most of them don't want the confrontation. They just want to stir people up and get the followers. Yes, the majority of them do. Sometimes they feel all proud of themselves and, you know, maybe took a little bit of altered courage to just completely say horrific, awful things about people. But, you know, that's not where we're going to do. Whatever we're going to do. I just needed to get all of that out. I've been sitting here worried about it for a week. Like, is this going to get in the way of my advocacy? Is this going to ruin my activism? Are people actually that terrible that they're going to come in and they're going to try to ruin what I'm doing, which is really just a small blip of a very large purpose. You know, I am a member of the Unsilenced Advocacy Network. However, I am not in charge of it. I am not an officer, or I don't want to say that because that sounds very Scientologist, but I'm not a, there's so many great people in this community that have so much more to share and bring to the movement. Yes, absolutely. What did you do? Oh, nice. I like everything about that. River, napping. It all sounds phenomenal. But moving forward, there's a lot to talk about, and it's not going to be about the same like habit trail garbage that everybody in the community is talking about. I am focusing on my purpose, on my goals, on the fact that we now have a bill being introduced to Congress by a group of senators. I'm sorry, that's not true. By a group of representatives in the House and I'm gonna record that and release that on Wednesday. Last week was an amazing day for our advocacy network, as we were able to be at the hearing, to be at the press conference in the morning, to meet with people the day before, to lobby around DC. And when I say we, I mean, other people within my advocacy network, because unfortunately I wasn't able to go. I financially can't afford it. It didn't work out for me this time. Hopefully next time next time during the next session, during the fall session, when the House Finance Committee brings this up, I will be there. I will be there no matter what. Nothing's going to stop me from going, because I was really, really upset and disappointed last week that I wasn't able to go. Let's see. I think if you keep your eye on the mission and off the haters, they will leave because they are not getting the fuel that they need. I agree, Donna. Yes. I noticed a trend in this. None of the bad people have ever been the kind to uplift anyone. I think that's very telling. I agree. Yeah. And you're going to become pretty irrelevant if you're not about lifting up each other. You can't be part of a movement that's all about really just kind of, knocking people in the knees with a bat or a tire iron or something. You're just trying to constantly knock others down. And this is especially true with women. I think that we as women can have a conversation about this, about women being cruel to each other and competing with each other, because that's been our gender role for generations. I am very hopeful now, though, with the younger generations and with people of my generation, Generation X, and millennials, and everybody down the line, is that we are learning, and I agree with this, we do need each other. And I'm learning that I have chosen 15 years ago to be, maybe longer, but for sure 15 years ago, I decided that I wanted to be the kind of woman that celebrated and lifted other women up, not see them and be like, oh, I want what they have. I'm going to knock them off them off their pedestal. And I'm not for that. It is silly for women to fight with each other, but that's kind of what we've been taught, right? I'm going to very loosely paraphrase this because it's been a really long time, been at least 10 years, I think, since I heard this joke. But Chris Rock, who I tend to think is very funny. Humor is apparently another divisive topic anymore, but whatever. I think Chris Rock is funny. And a long time ago, he had this great joke about the difference between men and women. And I'm going to give hang on a second. The youth give me so much hope. I see movements among the youth for community gardens, community organizing, helping one another. It's very inspiring. It is. It's very inspiring. And I see a lot of that, actually. Especially I see that with my niece and her friends, and just younger people in general, as well as people in their 20s. I apologize. Women like children can be mean with a smile on their faces. I try not to knock anyone because it won't get me what they have if they fail. Yeah, I agree. I do it for a few reasons. I also believe in karma. Like I said, I've done some bad things in my life, and I've hurt some people, mainly inadvertently and not on purpose. It's sometimes on purpose, and it makes me feel really bad. I sincerely apologize to everyone who I will never talk to again that I hurt. I am sincere in my apologies, but just because I am sorry and I apologize for what I've done doesn't mean that I want any of these people back in my life. They're not in my life for a reason. Ace! Hey! It's good to finally see you in here. Very nice. That's all right. It's not fast fingers. Fat fingers. It's just fat typing. There's no, this is a judgment-free zone here. I mean, I've got a skeleton, I got a flamingo, I've got, oh, this is it. I should just put this like right here for the whole screen. Here, no, wait, I'll put it right there. My piece. Actually, it's weird. It looks like the voice, the voice thing. Hey, maybe this will be my little award to people that do good things for other people. But I love this, and kind of making my new office space a little more purposeful. And I'm like, I like it. This is actually how I had my apartment laid out. The first 3 years I lived here, I had the what's technically the living room was my office / art studio. So behind the camera is where I do all my art, and this is my. Wait, why are you sorry that you're trauma dumping? No, we don't sorry you. I've had to cut off family members this past year due to betrayal, gossip, abuse. Having boundaries is so hard. Having boundaries is painfully hard. And I've had to do that with relatives. And I won't call them family members. I've had to do that with relatives as well as people I thought were my friends. Too many people that I thought were my friends in real life and through the movement. Okay, not through the Troubled Teen Survivor movements. Everybody's actually really been great. But through this other movement, you know, the SPTV movement, along with the other movements that have come along with it. Again, I want to make it really clear, I'm not bashing the SPTV community or mentioning anyone's names, because I actually have a lot of respect for the majority of the people that are streaming out there. And really, I have a level of respect for all of them, because, you know, I mean, it takes a lot. I only went out and protested Scientology once in Detroit. I would have definitely done it more if I wouldn't have run into the issue that I did. Is I live in a border city, and I kept bouncing off of the signals between the States and Canada, because living in Detroit, when I'm downtown, I'm so close to Windsor that it bounces around, and it makes my stream all screwed up. So until I can figure out a way to do that without it bouncing around, I'm not going to be protesting at the Scientology org in Detroit. Also, there's really no foot traffic. There's no Sea Org members out there, you know, trying to get people to come in. They just have the sign, you know, that says, "Hey, come in for a free movie." Like, yeah, I can watch free movies at home. I don't. But you know, I feel like I almost feel like, you know, we're coming to the end of something, and coming to the end of a part of a movement can feel really sad. But I really think that in the end, it's going to be a good thing. I think that the people that are there for the right reasons are going to continue to be there. I believe the second gens are going to start feeling more comfortable to be active again, because they're not being overshadowed by never ends. I believe that the anti-Scientology child abuse community and the troubled teen industry, anti-troubled teen industry community are going to come together, and we're going to make a difference. We are going to pass legislation. We are going to put an end to institutional child abuse, both in the private sector as well as in the religious sector, which I guess Scientology falls under only because they are still having their tax exempt status, which is not fair. But one of the big reasons that they still have their tax exempt status that I don't hear a lot of people talking about enough. No, I mean, I would, but you know that I have to swim part of the way. I guess I could just drive over there and then stay, right? And it looks like I'm missing some things in the chat. So here, let's stop my rambling for a minute. Let's see. That is all we ever tried to have for people, and it was taken advantage of horribly, and we are taking it back. That's exactly what we're doing. We're taking back the power, we're taking back the purpose, we're bringing kindness back, along with sexy. My jokes are they're not landing today, at least not for me. Losing family members is really hard. Keeping boundaries is always a challenge. You want to believe that someone you care about can be that cruel or blind to their actions. Yeah, I did that with somebody off and on for 30 years, and that didn't turn out well. Yeah, Donna, no kidding. 100%, like dismissal of accountability of what broke the camel's back. Well, that's the problem. Like people can point fingers all they want to unless they're looking in a mirror. Accountability seems to be one of the hardest things that anybody can take. Personally, I take accountability for everything that I do and say. Unfortunately, I think I take that to a whole new level. A couple of people in here can attest to the fact that I have a tendency to self-sabotage because I don't believe I deserve good things. Yeah. I don't. Sometimes I do. But I've been struggling for so long. I don't know what it feels like to be comfortable in not. Sorry, but I have to run. Love you all. You're doing amazing. Can't wait to watch later. Have fun with your dad. I hope that you have a good time. I'll catch up with you later. I appreciate you. Thanks, Sammy. It's hard to say it, but I'm sick of not saying the things that hurt. I'm sick of not saying the things that might make people feel uncomfortable because they're my things. If they make you feel uncomfortable, turn the channel off. Watch something else. Watch somebody else grift people and lie and make up stories. I don't care. Watch somebody, power wash somebody's yard. Watch somebody's take somebody's horribly landscaped yard and turn it into something beautiful for free. I don't care. This channel today, I'm going to complain and I'm going to whine and I'm going to throw a little pity party. And if you don't like it, bye. Always like the saying that when you point fingers, more are pointing back at you. Yeah, when you point your finger at someone, 3 more are pointing back at you. That's the rule of karma. I've been tempted lately to just carry a little handheld mirror around with me, and people start saying really awful things to me. Just hold the mirror up to their face and be like, "I'm sorry, what did you say? Could you repeat that for yourself?" You keep getting pickle recommendations. What? Are you talking about? Wait, you like pickle videos? I mean, I love pickles, but yeah, I would need that to stop too. That's really weird. People eating a pickle provocatively or just eating pickle. That's weird. The internet is vast and full of options. This is my corner of the webiverse. It is weird. It's really weird. And now you're probably going to ruin my algorithm because I'll get off of this and I'll be like, all right, let's see what this pickle thing is about. Sometimes that's what Scientology is trolling. Scientology is tormenting you with pickles. That's terrible. That's mean. If they can send me pickles, it's not going to bother me, but they should pick something like games or something that you don't mind. You're entitled to make of it whatever you need at the moment. Thank you, Izzy. I don't know what it is with the younger people in my life that just happen to be so wise. 2 of them out, and I only know that one is here for sure. And that is Izzy. I don't know if Jay's still here or not, but Yeah. So a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about trauma and relationships and trust. Like, does anybody have any suggestions on things that that work for them as far as because I'm getting very good at boundaries, but the problem for me is that I went from being a very mean person when I was younger to being a person who leads everything with kindness. And there is nothing wrong with putting someone in their place or setting boundaries with a happy or kind face. But I'm really sick of, I'm really sick of people getting over on me. I'm sick of people lying to me. I'm sick of people pretending to be my friend only to find out that they were just trolling for information. They were just trying to find some information on myself or somebody else that I care about. And I hate to break it to all the people who think that I'm just going to tell everybody's secrets, but I'm a vault. If somebody says, don't tell anybody this, or this is a secret, it's a secret. I don't break people's trust because I can't stand to have my trust broken. The two things that I hate the most, oh my God, I just said the word, Lola. I don't hate, okay? And I don't normally use the word hate, but I just did, and it bothers me, and I'm going to address that. But, you know, the two things that I can't stand the most are people talking about me behind my back, because if you've got the stones to say some bad stuff behind my back, then maybe you should grab those stones and have the nerve to say it to my face or my ear or my eyes, whatever. Come to me. Don't talk about me to other people and being lied to. Don't lie to me. It's so unnecessary. It causes so much pain. It makes everything more difficult. Like if I tell you that I am the princess of Moldovia, but I'm the crown princess of the island of misfit toys. Will prove to me I'm wrong. First of all, well, I am wrong. But if I say that I am the crown princess of the island of misfit toys, and I get money every month, and I'm going to take care of everybody, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. So what's the point? Because then you have to keep adding on. Oh, well, my dad's relative, and just whatever. You're Gemini, so I'm like, say it to my face before I find out elsewhere. Yeah, I'm a Gemini myself. I'm a Gemini Cancer cusp. In fact, I am a cusp baby. I am the last day of Gemini. So, I am very kind. I am actually a very straightforward and exactly who I am person all the time. Granted, I do wear a mask when I go out, and I don't mean like a mask. I wear a smiley face mask around people because it just makes it easier for me not to have to deal with them. Not one of those people would say it to our faces. Nope, not a single one. To me. Is it the day before the first day of summer, Sammy? Oh, look, there's Thomas. Well, hi, Thomas. Thomas has more room now, so he's not all up in my face. My co-host, Jerome. Cuss baby here too, Capricorn Aquarius. Nice. Thomas, did you want to talk about trust issues? No. Thomas, Sammy and I share the same birthday. I love you too. Go away. You trying to say my birthday? My birthday is the 20th. That's hilarious. I have a birthday twin. Well, I have two of them. Okay, so this was so funny. I'm trying to type something, and I have a wireless keyboard, and I used to keep it on top of my desk. Now I keep it in the little keyboard drawer because so I mod for Will's channels for Film the Police LA and Scientology Audit Streets LA, and it was a pretty serious live stream if I'm not mistaken. And Thomas was sleeping, and he jumps up. I was in the other room. He jumps up on my desk, and he just like plants himself on the keyboard, and it's just, and there was like 10 different comments, and people really did actually get a laugh out of it. I don't even think that Will noticed it, but it was absolutely hilarious. Some people were like, yeah, sure, it was your cat, you're high or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'm high, but it was definitely my cat. Oh, that was funny. I had to go back and delete like 12 comments. Thomas decided that he had something to say. It was just basically a / and I think it just kept saying it / over and over and over. Yeah, he's like, okay, Mom, I'm gonna mod. You can go ahead and go. I know you're tired. You can go ahead and go to sleep. I got this. I'm gonna delete everybody's comments and hide everybody and leave random students. You know what? He's a great cat. His birthday's next month. He turns 4 years old in July. He is just my baby. I have another baby girl. Her name's Frank, and she's shy. So she's somewhere sleeping. Now that I moved the living room back into the back room where it was originally, where she's the room that she's most comfortable in, which is my office for the last year, she's so happy. I'm actually really happy too. My body hates me, especially my lower back. But I went on this big cleaning vent. I went on this big cleaning vent yesterday and cleaned the heck out of this apartment. Like, I'm talking vacuum, sweep, mop, dusted, changed the living room and the office furniture, swapped and mopped again. I washed my rugs. I did so much yesterday, and I'm going to do more today, including this, and it feels great. I feel so alive, and it feels good to be alive because lately I've been feeling really garbagey. You know, when you're going through something and you're involved in two movements that are really, really important to you, right? And one of them is making great strides, and you can't be a part of it because your trauma has caused you to continue to struggle financially and struggle emotionally and struggle physically. And I'm still trying to forgive myself for not being able to go to DC last week. Like I said, next session, I really wanted to be a part of that. And yes, my testimony has been turned in, but I wanted to be there. I wanted to talk to these people. I wanted to look them in the face and tell them my story. But I will. And my fellow survivors did that. And in my other community, everything is just falling apart and people are turning on each other and imploding, and it's just so uncomfortable and I can't stand it. So Izzy's sending me all the good vibes and all the good and peaceful vibes from the garden. Your little is picking wild strawberries and eating them as she goes. Everybody does deserve this kind of peace, but it makes me really happy knowing we're having it right now. And I'm really happy that you and mini you are having a really great day. So how do I know that name? That's fantastic. So you have a Siamese boy. His name is Bean. Did you name him Bean because you got him as a baby and his butt smelled? Because Frank's middle name is Bean. And the reason her middle name is Bean was because I got her at 8 weeks old. So she was just coming off of her mom. And it was bad. But Thomas is Thomas Jerome Newton, after David Bowie's character in the movie The Man Who Fell to Earth, which was David Bowie's first movie. It's also my last name, so it's kind of fitting. Frank, her name is Frankie Beans. And I named her Frank because her facial markings look like Frank Zappa's facial hair. and Beans because her butt stank terribly when she was a kitten and she would pass gas or use the litter box. But I love my babies. They're tuxedos. They're fantastic cats. Tuxedos are my favorite cats outside of Maine Coons. I had a Maine Coon for a long time. His name was Abra, and he was just stunning, absolutely amazing, brilliant, total Hemingway cat. You know, like he was all fuzzy with the raccoon tail, and he had the thumbs, and he would like pick up his food to eat it, jump like. Loved him. I had him through my 20s. All right, let's see. His name was Yoda, but I kept calling him Beanie Baby because I have an old one that looks like okay, that makes sense. I have all kinds of nicknames for these bozos. I love them so much. Kitties are such healing, loving animals. They give such great snuggles, and my kitty always seems to know if I need a hug. Yeah, my cats are not the cuddliest cats in the world. I don't know if it's a breed thing, it's weird because yeah, they're tuxedo cats, but I got them both from the city shelter. So I don't think they're like, you know, purebred cats. I have a friend that was gonna buy a Scottish short hair, right? With the one with the little legs and kind of pinched back. I think that's what they're called. Scottish fold cats. And I know that Taylor Swift has some, you know, she's the rich person. Axl Rose has Scottish fold cats, but like, how are you gonna spend $800 on a kitten when there's 50 of them at this shelter, hundreds of them at shelters all over the place? I thought that was insane. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you at all. I mean, I would have 6 cats, but I think the smell would drive me crazy. Maybe if I lived in more of a rural setting, not living in the downtown city area. Yeah, see, I saved mine. I saved mine from shelters too. But then, you know, they saved me back. I don't know. Sometimes Thomas makes me want to throw him out the window, but I would never do that. But this is my safe space, and I can say whatever I want to here. When he's screaming and yelling at me, oh, well, okay, if that's what it takes to have 6 cats pass, clearly I'm not like the greatest. I mean, I'm a good cleaner. I'm an excellent cleaner. My place is not filthy. It's not gross. It's just that, you know, I've been having physical and emotional issues, and got, you know, the flooring got away from me, the sweeping, the vacuuming, the moving of the furniture, the mopping. It's a large space. You know, I live in the entire top floor of a building. It's only a 3-story building, but I have the whole top floor, and it's a lot for somebody with skeletal, spinal, and nervous system and physical blah 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 blah. My kitties were found in a Facebook friend's yard. We got them at 8 weeks. I remember I actually rescued a 2-week-old kitten. I named him Monkey. He was so cute. You know those hair those turby twist things that you put your hair in when you get out of the shower, or when you get in the shower if you don't want your hair to get wet. Hi, Crystal. And so I would wear that around my neck, and I'd put little Monkey in there so he'd stay up against my chest, right? So he'd be up against my chest, and he could feel my heartbeat and hear my heartbeat. And I did rehouse him. Now I wish I would have just kept him. No offense to Thomas. He's sleeping. He doesn't know what I'm saying. Let's see. So we got, if we stop and think of all the problems that could be fixed if rich people put a fraction of their money on things that the people need, we're just going to end up, no, believe me, I know. I try not to. Hi, Crystal. Let's see what you've got to say. Your Cuddlebug Leo. Yeah, I've seen your kitty Leo, Tabby. She's part ragdoll. Her mom, Leo's mom was part ragdoll. Fluffy thing. That is a mama's boy. My other one is a white calico that they think might have Siamese in her. I can't remember if I've seen your other one, but I've definitely seen your orange tabbies and orange cats are bomb. There's a guy on TikTok that I really love. His name is Drennan Davis, and he's a comic and a ventriloquist and all this, and he's very funny, and he does great videos with his four cats. I only have the 2. Maybe I should get 2 more. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should. No, I'm happy with the 2 that I have. Let's see. So I wonder. Let's see. But if I ever get rich, I'm taking all the fur babies out of those shelters. Yeah. Get a big plot of land, right? And you can have multiple houses on it. And it could, I know that sounds culty. It doesn't have to be culty. It's something I learned from a friend of mine who grew up in the Philippines, and her family had a compound. So they have one large home in the center of the compound, and then smaller homes surrounding the main home. You know, that had everything that you needed, but the big kitchen and the big dining table and everything, you know, for people in the family to socialize, that was all in the main house. And I personally think that that's a pretty fantastic idea. I actually love it. I would like to do that. Sorry. My hair's falling out. So I really think that I just needed to vent, and apparently I needed to do it for an hour because that went really fast. I don't understand. I don't even know if I made a point. All I know is that I am making a promise to myself and my friends that that I'm going to continue to just be the person that I am, and no lies and no talking behind anybody's back. And I'm also asking my friends if they hear anything bad about me, let me know, because I would really like to take care of that personally, because you know, I'm working on a reputation in the activism and advocacy world, and I would like it to be as consistent as I am as a human being. So I take this very seriously. I make a lot of jokes. I'm silly. I'm funny in the chats, you know, whatever. I am a funny person, but I take my activism very seriously, and I'm not going to have it taken away from me by people who are just mad at the lack of attention that they're getting, as opposed to other people getting attention. That's not my problem. That's not my issue. Any issue that anybody has with me, or anybody in my chat, or anybody who I'm friends with, or any of my friends who are streamers, is not actually the problem of those people. It's your problem. If you have a problem, it's your problem. If you're intimidated by somebody, it doesn't make them intimidating. That's your issue, not mine, not anybody else's. Work on yourself. Look in the mirror and stop putting other people down. Stop bashing people. Stop saying negative things. Stop calling them names. Stop trying to ruin their lives. Just stop and focus on your life and making it better. That's my advice. Take it or leave it. It's up to you. Not culture. Kitty. Yeah. Just reading the comments here. Just these people took pieces of us. It's okay to have lost focus on what was normal. You don't have to justify it. Thank you. Thank you. I just thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of your comments. I really do. Oh, Misha. Nice to finally have you here. I miss you very much. I know that you've been busy. I got your message. I didn't respond immediately back to you because you did say that you hadn't been checking back. But now that I see you, I will. And I miss you. And I hope that you're okay. I really do. We need to catch up. My BFF says if I win the lottery, I have to buy a big house, a house big enough for my husband, my cat, his girl, their cats, and the two of us, so we don't have to keep going back and forth between different houses. Yeah, my best friend told me that when she sold her home, she was going to give me a certain dollar amount to help me catch up on my bills, but that didn't happen, and she went to Disney World instead. So I think I need to reevaluate who my friends are in real life as well as in the virtual. What do they call it? Come on, what's that called again? Parasocial relationships. Yeah. So I need to take a look at my in-person relationships just as much, if not more, than my parasocial relationships. The house is not called kitty houses, of course, not cat houses. Well, yeah, you can have, and the cat. Well, and if you're in a safe enough rural area that wild animals don't prey on cats. They can be inside, outside there. I mean, I'd love for my cats to be able to go outside, but it's not realistic in the city. There's too many feral cats and cars and cruel people and people that will cook them and eat them. Yeah, because I live in a city. People are hungry. Oh, sure. Just rub it in. Well, I'm working out. I'm just working out my demons. I think parasocial applies if people aren't connecting with each other and it's one-sided. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know parasocial meant like having a relationship, but it's only virtually. The other one be like unrequited. I don't know. Again, it's all just semantics, really. All that you just said, and then some. I love you. We're both trying to find our way in this dang web they call life. I get it. Glad you do too. I do get it. Yeah, I never heard of it. I don't even know. They're always going to come up with new names for new things, I guess. But virtual relationships. But at least when you're talking to somebody on the phone or you're talking to them, face to face, even if it is over a webcam, I actually still consider that to be a real thing, a real connection, a real relationship. However, I mean, people can even falsify that. But with this stream and everything that I just kind of rambled on about, I can't wait to read the comments on this after the fact because people like to leave comments, and I'm learning to take constructive criticism and ignore the hate. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see. Many of us are thinking we are connected with people, but unfortunately others take that and run totally one-sided. You know what you're talking about too, don't you, Mitcha? I know. I totally get the trust issues and how badly it hurts when they're fighting. Yeah, it does hurt a lot. And I don't want to take my trauma-induced anger out on people just because they're being ugly or nasty or unkind or cruel or hurtful. That's their problem. I don't want to make it my problem. I don't want it to change who I am because I like who I am. Now, granted, there's definitely some things about myself I would like to tweak or make better, but I'm working on it. I do weekly trauma therapy. I'm doing everything I can to better my life. To me, it all sounds like someone who is doing that to others and making an excuse for it. People are allowed to say they are friends with someone they have connected with and talk often. Yeah, absolutely. And I just, it's like love, right? Like the word friend is thrown around so easily and so often, like love is. I definitely take my time saying the word love in interpersonal, intimate relationships, which what do I know anything about those? I haven't had one in the I think 2 years, maybe a little bit over 2 years, and I just threw on the big pile of mistakes that I made in my life because we started talking. It was somebody that an old friend from back in the day, and we started talking on Instagram. We started talking on Instagram. So I had absolutely no idea that he was a severe alcoholic at the time. But yeah, so I'm going to start trusting myself more than I'm trusting other people. And new people coming into my life, unfortunately, because of other people who have hurt me and people that I love, are going to have to be a little patient when it comes to gaining my friendship. Misha says, I need therapy. I usually don't have bad dreams, but this am one of the worst visuals I've ever had, and yet it didn't skin. That scares me. Okay, there's no shame in it. I'm not sure why you don't do it. You can do it virtually. You need to get into therapy. It's one of the greatest things that I've ever done for myself. So consider it. We can talk about it. I'm here for you. I'm definitely. I mean, yeah. And honestly, Lala, Misha is another person on the other side of this community who got burned really, really bad by friends. A bunch of us did. People that we were told were our friends and took advantage of us, and people that were told were our friends, who told us they were our friends and turned their backs on us. People that told us that they were our friends and then said they hated us. So yeah, no, everybody screwed up, and but the ones that okay, I'll talk to you about that privately. But moving forward, I mean, I'll be friendly and welcoming and kind to people, but not into my personal information, not into my personal life, not into anything about me, because it's gonna get thrown in my face, and I'm not down for it. So with that being said, I'm gonna say bye, because it's a beautiful day. I need to touch some grass, but I need to do some grounding, and I want to continue with my big spring cleaning and putting things away and tossing things and donating things that I don't need, because I know that there are so many people in need, and more every day. More people every day are in need. So I agree. We're all allowed to set boundaries. And if people don't like it, they can kick rocks in another direction. If they kick rocks at me, that's just bad. Wow. Thank you. I love the new setup too, but I'm still going to put a couple of my, I have to have my girls. I'm really not good at this here. I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. To all of you who are commenting, I appreciate each and every one of you. I know that Jamie's gone. I think Jay is gone too. But Lala, Sammy, Donna, Misha, Crystal, Izzy, I really appreciate all of you. I love you guys. You are all my Diane. Aw, hi. That's okay. I didn't want to spam the general with it, so I put a thing in the share your app or advertise your stream or whatever it was. But I appreciate you coming by here. Oh, hey Jaden, sorry, I didn't know that you were still there. It's okay to be here and not talk. I don't expect people to chat, because I understand what it feels like not to want to chat sometimes. But yes, this is very important. Yep. And if you need to vent, please reach out. And that includes, I also want to say that includes my email address, which I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat for you, even though I know that it's in my bio. I still want to have it in here so that you can reach out to me directly if you want to talk about anything that is troubled teen industry related, anything that is Scientology, anti-Scientology related, anything that is to do with trauma, CPTSD, therapy, anything you want to talk about. If I know about it, I will talk to you. If I don't know about it, I will make sure to pass the information on to somebody who does and then connect you with them. So on that note, I'm just going to thank you, Sammy. Thank you for considering it a space for everybody, because it is. Yes. Did you want to come on and say it, or did you just want to say it in the chat? No. So you just want to say it in the chat? Okay. Go ahead. You don't have to show your face anyways. You could just do it with your voice, but you don't have to. I don't care. Misha, did you see this? Oh, here. CPTSD is not something we ask for, and it's not something to be mocked for. For that person that did this, you are disgusting. Oh, we'll leave it up there for a minute. And I just want to say thank you to everybody and send you all a bunch of love and support, and just the knowledge that you are a good person. You are absolutely worthy. You deserve the good things in the world, and you will get them as long as you are kind to other people. No, you're not, but that's okay. You don't have to be. I don't mind it. I just want to put this back up here because this is a big reason that I made this stream. You know, again, I'm not putting anybody on blast because they're actually not here. So I'm glad, actually. I'm glad that you didn't have the nerve to come in here and face me. Not surprised. I feel better. And we're moving on. We're moving forward. We're refocusing on the cause. We're going to get louder. We're going to stay on silence because we had enough of being forced to be silenced. So on that note, I am going to go. Oh, hang on. On that note, I'm going to explain to Misha. You can watch on replay, absolutely, and please leave a comment. You know, I love that. Also, everybody, if you could like, subscribe, share if you want to, leave a comment afterwards. It helps the go rhythm. And I want to say that all you gotta do is admit it and say you're sorry and move on. I mean, not as my friend, but for yourselves. And I'm going to do that myself. I've already apologized for anything that I might have caused, anything that I might have said, any discomfort I might have caused anybody ever in my life. It sounds a little dramatic, but it's true. I am starting on. I love you too, honey, and I hope that you have the best time in the strawberry patch and that you guys enjoy the bath that you're going to have to take afterwards. And Mary's here. Hi, Mary. Good to see you. I'm just signing off, actually. I like to keep them a little bit tight, especially when I'm rambling and I'm not as focused as I should be. But I am focused on the fact that if we're kind to each other genuinely, and we do nice things for each other genuinely, you know, we can make. Gosh, this is really hard for me. I'm emotional today. All right. But if we could just be kind to each other and be honest and be assertive in our confrontations when we have an issue with people rather than being aggressive or going behind people's backs. If we're just kind to each other, we're not weak, we're not suckers, we're not fools, we're kind people, we're honest people. And if we continue to be that way, we can change the world by making it a kinder place, by making it a better place to live, by showing people that there is another way to live than divisive and hateful and screaming and judging. I don't want anything to do with that. So if that's the world that you live in, if that's the world that you inhabit, don't bother me. Don't come around me. Don't come around my friends. I'm done. I want my freedom back. I have my voice back. Anybody who tries to take my voice away again will not be happy that they did so, because I will use my voice to remind you of who you are and what you have done. And if it's been bad, you'll be sorry. And it's not a threat. I don't threaten. But there will be a conversation had. I'm done. I'm moving forward. Right? I am moving forward. My life is purpose driven. And my purpose is to end the troubled teen industry and the institutional child abuse that happens in the troubled teen industry and Scientology. If you're on board with that, sweet. If you want to get on board with that, awesome. If you want to learn more, fantastic. I can help you learn. I can guide you to other places that can help you learn. Be a good person or go away. Okay? I love everybody here. I love so many people that are following what I'm doing. Find the alpha female in any tribe, human or animal. Look towards the one who sacrificed themselves to build up others so they are stronger together. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, my sister. I love you. I love all of you. You know what I say. Be kind to somebody today, because it'll be worth it tomorrow. I love you. Bye.